This is Pre-Algebra 1, Lesson 3.3. It starts on page 130 in your textbook, and it's on ordering decimals. I have a picture here. I don't know, but I think this is a Mongolian gerbil. Its tail is about the same length as its body. If it's a Mongolian gerbil, that's what it is. This one says a gerbil can be between 15 to 30 centimeters long, and its tail can be half of its length. So I guess it's not a Mongolian gerbil, because the Mongolian gerbil, its body length is usually 11 centimeters, so that would be shorter than this gerbil, and a tail length of 10.6 centimeters. So in that case, if you were looking at a body that was 10.6 centimeters and a tail, oh sorry, I did that wrong, let me fix that. It should have been, I got a new stylus and it just is not working here, so we'll have to figure out what's going on. Okay, the tail is 10.6 centimeters and the body is 11 centimeters. Don't know what's going on here. Okay, so which one is longer? Well, hopefully you realize that the 11 is longer, but the tail isn't very far behind. And so here I'm sort of talking about the same thing. How would you write this? And we would write it that 10.6 is less than 11, or we could say 11 is greater than 10.6, because on a number line, and we have here, I have several different depictions of a number line. Here we have 0.01, and that is also could be called 1/10. We have 0.2, which is 2/10, 0.3, which is 3/10, 0.4 is 4/10, 0.5 is 5/10, 0.6 is 6/10, 0.7 is 7/10, 0.8 is 8/10, and 0.9 is 9/10. Now if you add another 0 here, so on this row we were doing where you have the decimal and just 1. But in the second row, we are now adding a 0. The 1, of course, the 1 could be a 2 or a 3 or whatever. And 0.01 is 1/100ths. 0.02 is 2/100ths. 0.03 is 3/100ths. 0.04 is 4/100ths. 0.05 is 5/100ths. 0.06 is 6/100ths. 0.07 is 7/100ths. 0.08 is 8/100ths. And 0.09 is 9/100ths. So, or actually, okay, and then in the very last row, you have 0.001. Oh, the 1 didn't show up. What's wrong here? Why won't it show my 1? There it is. And we have 0.001 is 1,000th. 0.002 is 2 over 1,000. 0.003 is 3,000ths. 0.004 is 4,000ths. 0.005 is 5,000ths. 0.006 is 6,000ths. 0.007 is 7,000ths. 0.008 is 8,000ths, and 0.009 is 9,000ths. So you want to see that the relationship between, if we have a decimal point and no 0, then that's going to simply be 1 0. If we have two spaces after the decimal, then we're going to have 2 zeros, and if we have 3 decimal places, that's going to be 3 zeros. So the number of decimal places after the decimal here is how many zeros that we're going to have. Now, if we're ordering, let's say we're going to order gerbils from the heaviest gerbil to the lightest gerbil. So we're going to go heavy to lightest. We have Edgar, who he weighs 77.0113. We have Donald, who weighs 77.0212. We have Herbie, which weighs 77.0033. and Lexi, which is 77.0250. I apologize for my writing. I have this very fancy new stylus to write with on my iPad, and it is not behaving at all. So bear with me, and hopefully I can get it figured out and my writing can be better. So let's see how we would compare them. And let's do what we talked about before. So we know that all of these in the ones and tens and ones column match because they're all 7, 7. So now we have to go and we have to look at the 10th. They're all the same on the 10th column. Let's see if I can get this changed here. So now we're going to compare the hundredths, which this is sort of overtaking it. Let me see if I can fix this. This was a 1 that is circled here. And just to write down what we had here, 202. So now we know that Donald and Alexi, both in the hundredths column, have 2. So we have to go one more, and we will look at the thousandths. Okay, so now I have put down here, it sort of clicked off, so I'm not sure, but if you look at what I wrote down here, is Alexi had 77.0250. Donald was next heaviest with 77.212. Edgar was next at 77.013. Alexi was 77.025. So what you're doing is just continuing to compare tenths. Right here we had tens, we had ones, we had tenths, hundredths, thousands, etc. So you have to just keep comparing and seeing in each spot if one number is the same, then go to the next one and who has the next one there. So just want to go over one more time what each of these decimal places are called. So the first spot after the decimal, we have tenths, and then we have hundredths, and then we have thousands, and then we have 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. And these right here, the last 3 are the hardest to remember because it repeats the thousands. So tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and then it goes to millions. And in your book on page 120 is also that same chart if you forget when you're doing your homework and you need to look back. So let's look at this. We have 7.54 and then 7.45. So which number is the bigger one here? And again, our 7s are the same. That's in the ones position. Let's look at the next one. Our decimals would be right there. It's not showing it very good. Let's look at the 5 and a 4. Well, right there we have a difference. We know that 5 is greater than the 4. So we can already tell without going any further that 7.54 is greater than 7.45. So now let's look at this problem. We have 8.50 compared to 8.5. What we do know is that there would be a 0 there even though it's not. Well, now we can tell by looking at this that all the digits here are the same on both sides, and so our answer would be that that side is equal to the other side. Let's try one more. And let's see, that should have a 1 there. Just 1, 1. I don't know why it did that. Let me see if I can fix it. Okay, I can't even get a 1 to write there for some reason. Okay, and we can look at this as we got the 4s are the same. The next number over is a 0 and a 1. Let me write the 1 in here so we can really see that that's a 1. Well, we can stop right there because we know that 1 is greater than 0. So we would put 0.409 is less than 0.411. Okay, your assignment is going to be on pages 132 to 134. The exercises 1 through 15, 20 through 23, 26 through 34, 45 through 47, 53 through 57, 59 through 60. I also want to let you know that at the back of your book, it does have for every assignment, it does some problems so that you can check and see whether or not your answers are correct or not. So if you get stuck, you can look. Don't look unless you're stuck, but you can use that to help you there. If you don't get your homework done, you will have to take it home and bring it back. It will be due at the start of class tomorrow. And make sure that you write all of this on the top of your paper, the first couple of rows. Please leave a space between every single answer, and please use as much space as necessary to be very, very neat so that I can grade it. Thank you.